always amazing when we see that little live icon come up on the screen. We're sitting in very different places in our homes in the city, and we are here live on Creative Hive for 11:30. This is our weekday lives, and it's been quite the journey having all of these lives and meeting all of these people throughout the last 7 weeks. And I don't know, I have learned so much. So today we get to welcome Chau Paris Jewelers, and she has become a friend. She's become someone that I look up to and that I get to bounce business ideas off of. And I'm so excited that each of you get to hear her story. And I don't think everyone knows, or enough people know, what you guys do and how extensive that is. So welcome to the Creative Hive and welcome to our little live.
Thank you for having me.
I think we need to start with what's the obvious. Tell us a little bit about you, what you guys do for those of people that don't know, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of dealing with life, family, business during this wild time.
Okay, so one of the co-owners of Paris Jewelers. So I own it with my sister, and we are a retail jewelry brand, and we have 25 stores across 4 provinces in Canada. So we started over 30 years ago, and we've been able to grow it. And it's just been quite a journey. We've learned a lot along the way. And our very first store was in St. Albert, Alberta. We still have that same store in the same mall today.
It was a family business and something that you grew up with. So it must be so much more than just a business for you and your sister.
Yeah. So, my parents, they immigrated from Vietnam, just trying to find a better life for our family. And we landed in Edmonton, Alberta, because we had family here. And growing up, we saw them, work multiple jobs while going to English as a second language classes. And we grew up seeing them work really, really hard. And then the opportunity came to open one small store in St. Albert, Alberta, 400 square foot store, very, very modest. And they decided to take a chance. And at that time, they still weren't speaking English yet. So they had bought a Vietnamese English dictionary. And when customers would come into the store, they would translate using that dictionary with customers. So we saw that growing up, and they made the customers feel at home. They really celebrated their moments. So those values we take today with us. So that's how the first store started. And from there, it just, it started to grow.
You and your sister have really put your own values, your own heart and soul behind this business. And 7 weeks ago, like everyone else, it all changed. Tell me how you're feeling and how that first wave of uncertainty kind of washed over you and your family.
You know what? And I want to be totally honest. I think the first feeling was panic. We don't know what to do. We don't have a game plan for this. When I look back to 7 weeks ago, we made the decision to temporarily close our retail stores. That was one of the hardest things we ever had to do. We didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to do it well. We had to do right by our people. We had to put in all these steps and all these measures. And it was like, for that week that we were closing, we must not have slept that week, just trying to figure out how to communicate with everybody. So I think the first feeling was panic for sure. And I don't ever want to, sugarcoat that. It was scary.
You can't sugarcoat it. I mean, we felt the exact same thing. It was, and your heart just kind of broke a little bit because there was so much uncertainty as to how long we were going to be closed, how temporary was, and just figuring out everything. And then, family was all of a sudden, everybody was at home too, which is a very different dynamic.
Right. It was such a different dynamic. We don't really have people working from home because we have retail locations. So, what did that look like? What did the plan look like? How do we set up our people? Our locations, of course, are a mainstream of revenue. We didn't have that anymore. So how are we going to plan for the future? So those are the things that kept coming up that we would ask ourselves. And as we came up with answers, we would have more questions. So that's what would happen. That was the first couple of weeks.
There was, I don't know if those questions have stopped. They haven't for me. Have they stopped for you yet? I mean, they're just new questions every day.
Yeah. And I think sometimes I make up the own questions and I ask myself that I don't have answers to.
Right. So we all kind of adjusted to whatever was happening daily as it changed, and we refocused and reshifted. And for you, what did that mean? I mean, we talk a lot about online presence, and where was that before COVID, and kind of where did it become?
You know what? So we had an online presence, and it's not something that and I want to be honest and say like we didn't focus on it as much as we should have, just because we had our retail locations. So that being said, now online is our only stream of revenue for the company as our stores are closed. So it is so important. We have online sales. We've seen it increase, which is such a blessing. But one of the things that we did a couple years back is we put in live chat on our website. That has been one of the biggest blessings. And then a year ago, we switched to another platform that allowed you to live chat via your cell phone. So when people text with on us on our when people live chat with us, it can be done through their phone. So if they leave their computer, they're still texting with us. So having that live chat is absolutely, after conversion, probably about 30%. So the company we work with has been amazing, and we're able to do that with customers. And we've also extended our hours on live chat. Before it was just 9 to 5. I'm so grateful for our team members. You know, we've extended our hours to go into the evening and to be on the weekend, so we can really support our customers, because I think now more than ever, they want to connect with someone. And sometimes I on live chat if the team needs a break. And a lot of times I'm talking to people that are grieving their wedding plans and still want to get married and need bands. And having that conversation, I think, builds to trust. So if anybody's running an online business, I think that is so important, that live chat feature.
This may sound very naive, but I actually had no idea that there was real people behind live chat. I always thought it was.
Yeah, you'll get one of our team members. If they're super busy, I'll jump in. I'm going to say they're much better than I am, so hopefully you get one of them and not me.
But what a great way to still connect. And of course, you're going to see conversion rates, because it was that interaction. And, especially with your store, and so many people are in the same situation, that there's that personal connection and there's that story behind why they're buying or doing what they're doing.
Right. Absolutely. And, I think people want to know that they're going to get their order. What we're finding online is people want to trust the companies they're dealing with now more than ever. So if, they can ask us. They ask us the questions that they have during checkout, like, are you locally owned? What is your story? And if we can answer those things, that makes them feel more confident to purchase. So it's been a really great experience there. And we're finding that this live chat allows us to connect with customers, because we miss connecting with them as our stores aren't open.
Retail was not an easy business before this happened. And
no,
right? I mean, yeah, just a cakewalk for everybody in retail, but now it's even more challenging. So what do you think we're going to have to do going forward? I mean, that it's still so unknown, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is unknown. So I think right now where we're at is, our COVID strategy, we wrote everything down, and as things came up, it's like a big working document, and we had 3 phases. So right now we're in phase 1, which is stabilize and support. Phase 2 will be reopen and recovery. So we're kind of in phase 1, and then we're planning for phase 2. And I think right now it's getting all the data. And the most important thing to us is, what is our plan for safety protocols once we do open? We won't open until we have that plan in place. That's a commitment that we made to our family and to our employees. So right now we're working on all of that. And, the question has come up on, do we reopen? Do we not? And I feel for everybody during this time, because how do you make the right decision when you don't have all of the information? So I would say there's not a right or wrong way. We have to do what we believe is best. And I think that's what everybody is doing. For us as a company, we won't reopen until we have that procedure in place and we're very confident in it, so that our team feels confident and safe going back to work.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I mean, when I was listening to the announcements last week about everything starting to reopen, my first thought was, woohoo. And then I was like, oh my goodness, how do we reopen? So there is such a double-edged sword, if you will. I mean, excited that you can get back out there, but how can we get back out there safely, and what can we do? And it brought up so many other things.
Yeah. Did you feel a little bit uncertain about it?
I did. I had a little bit of a panic. My first reaction was, yeah. And then I was like, whoa, how am I going to do that? How are we going to do that? What are we going to do now? And do we have enough masks? Do we have the right safety procedures? What does that mean? These questions just started flooding in, because I thought I had more time, even though I felt like I've had so much time.
Yeah, I totally relate. I feel like we've had so much time at home, and especially, if we are, we have our kids at home and we're trying to homeschool and run the business, we feel like we've had so much time at home. And then when the news was announced, exactly like you, Des, I was like, what, I don't have enough time to plan, right? So then I thought to myself, I started feeling guilty, thinking, what I've been doing with all of my time. So I think one of the mottos that I've stuck with during the season is you have to give grace and you have to give space, because everybody deals with things differently. Everybody reacts to things differently. I've talked to people that are so excited and can't wait to get back out there just for their mental health. They need to get out of the house. I've talked to people that are so scared, for their health and their family. So I think like giving grace and just saying, we don't know the whole story. And, somebody's decision to open right now, it could be that they have to make this decision to put food on the table for their family and for the people that depend on them. Someone's decision not to reopen could be they want to plan and make sure, and they have a little bit of anxiety about that. So I would say there's no right or wrong answer. You have to do what's best, that in which you believe, with the information you have, that's in the best interest for your people and your customers and your family. And we have to respect everybody's right to make that decision, right?
Yeah, and I think we also have to pay homage to, or take a minute and step back when we see a picture or we maybe don't agree with what somebody is doing, to find out the rest of the story, because maybe they're taking safety precautions that you can't see in the picture, or maybe they aren't open because their family member isn't feeling well, or they're not ready to open. There's so much more to it than just a snapshot in social media, as to why they're open or not. And we have to give, like you said, that grace and that time and that understanding to everyone. And I think Edmonton can do that, because I don't know about you, this local community, through all of this and the support for local, I only think has solidified and grown throughout COVID.
Yeah, it has been amazing. One of the best things that I think is the biggest blessing is, I think everybody has been able to connect with people you wouldn't normally connect with, just by raising your hand and saying, you know what, I need help. I see what you're doing and it's amazing. Can you just help me? And I've done that so many times, and people have been so open and friendly and honest and open to sharing their best practices, because we're just better together. So I think that's really been amazing.
Yeah, it's been exciting to watch people lift each other up.
Yeah.
Because if we can all lift each other up, then we're all at this same level and we can go together and forward so much stronger. And I think for the first time in a long time, so many more people are buying into that idea of a shared collective and a shared community. Like, we're not asking for your secret sauce, but we can help maybe, get the flour measurements right.
Yeah, for sure. And, my friend told me something last year that really stayed with me. And going back to what you said about that picture that we see on social media, and it's so easy to judge, what she said was, be curious, not furious. So our first instinct, and for me too, is when I see something, I start to think, and I think, why would that be? But if we take a minute to step back and not get upset right away, and we just ask the question, we find out the answer, and we avoid, all of these other emotions. So I really hold on to that, dear. It was so wise what she told me.
Yeah, and it's hard because there's so many emotions being involved right now. And I really think, some tangible information that you've given even so far today is that live chat information, and giving grace and giving the space to learn a little bit more from people. And those are tangible things that we can all apply as we go forward, because every single one of us, regardless of what business, are trying to figure it out.
Yes. Yeah, we are just trying to figure out. And I think, I think there was a period of panic, then planning, and then, things kind of, I don't know about you, but for us, it kind of got like a little bit more still as we were in planning mode. And then the reopening, when, government said to reopen, we're back into like a major planning at an accelerated rate to what this looks like. So it goes up and down,
The roller coaster is true, and it definitely is, and it's hit. And I know you have family at home too, 2 young girls, and I have Charlotte at home. And I think for us, and we chatted about this outside of this, that has been a blessing in a way too, because to get those moments and the time, because we're always run.
Yeah.
I'm going to be happy for that still after.
Yeah, me too. I think one of the biggest blessings of this is I have spent more time with my children than I ever had in their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, to be honest, there was a guilt that I associated with that. Like, why did this have to happen for me to spend so much time with them? And I've let that go. I've, went past that process, but I'm I'm being with them and in the moment, and I'm learning that we don't need to always be on the go, and we are always on the go. Like, how amazing is it that we're not rushing right out of the door to get to an activity or to our birthday, or we're always late for school. So, not being late for school has been a huge blessing upstairs. But yeah, it has been such a blessing to spend this time with them. But my husband's the MVP. He's been doing a lot of the homeschooling, and he's awesome. He's been so awesome.
Yeah, those support systems, you kind of realize how you're built. I mean, as we lead on and we're going to start wrapping up here shortly, what is your hope for your business and then maybe the community?
My hope is that when we do reopen, we are, our teams feel secure and safe to do so. My hope is as well is that we continue to support. Right now, we're seeing it so much in Edmonton. How amazing is our home city of Edmonton? Like, everybody is supporting, donating. We have 5% of all of our sales going to the food bank. Our hope is that we can continue to do that if it allows, to continue to give back. I feel like we are very lucky, and there's other people out there that aren't so lucky. So it is our hope to continue to do that. Our hope is to always continue to celebrate customer stories, that they still continue to choose us, because customers have something we don't have. They have choice. They can choose to go anywhere, that we've done, a good enough job for them to continue to choose us for their special occasions.
Yeah, I absolutely. And that safety and that choice and the positivity that has been felt. And I think that will continue and carry on. And I think that anybody watching that has a local business or is doing something on their own or could support locally, this is just another motivation to do that, because we understand as the businesses that you do have that choice, and people are choosing local right now.
Yes, which is,
they're going to have to do that a lot more, right, when this is over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are going to keep supporting, keep lifting each other up. Thank you so much. I mean, as you steer through this, stay in touch. Let us know how it's going. And one day we'll have another conversation and dive more into how Paris Jewelers came to be and some of your background. You have a lot of knowledge.
Oh, thank you so much. I learn from you all the time, Des. You're so amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. Have an amazing afternoon. I cannot wait until your doors are open, like so many others, safely. But until then, they can still find you online. Where can people find Paris Jewelers or learn more about what you guys do day to day?
Just on our website, parisjewelers.ca, and then on Instagram, Paris Jewelers Canada, and then on Facebook as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon, and we will absolutely stay in touch with you. And I hope everyone got some really great information out of this. I know I did. So very much appreciated.
Thanks, Des. Have a great day, everyone.
Well, bye.